Hello, YouTube. This is Insane Monster, and we are here for part two of What If Asta Had Ultra Sans' powers? Now, then, when we last left off, Asta completed his Black Bull's initiation and gets his room and all that. So, yeah, as he wakes up a bit earlier than in canon, he sits up, thinking, oh, this will be a magic night. As he smirks. Hearing a voice, then, yeah, and it's just great. What you wanted, right? So, but now, he looks at his grimoire, saying, oh, you again. You've been quiet a lot recently. Voice said, just wanted to see how things went. The entrance exam went quite well. Though, I feel like something's off with this place. As Asta takes a moment and feels the souls are scattered about differently than when he went to sleep. That isn't necessarily abnormal since they're probably awake, but his room is in an entirely different place than what it was. As he opens his eyes, stating, looks like this building shifts around. Probably some kind of security measure or something. As he hears another voice saying, yes, quite handy in case someone comes in trying to storm the place. He looks around and sees Nero. For the time being, he's going to ignore that since it's odd, and he's not sure if this bird can actually talk. So he walks out, seeing a pillar in front of his door. As he's met with Magna, who tells him that the place shifts around. Also replies with, yeah, I could tell. My room wasn't in the same place, but the building it was before. Magna states, so you noticed that, huh? Good eye. As he gives them the tour. As they go through, the tour normally and everything, they meet Noelle. They meet Noelle, like in canon, where the interaction is pretty similar. After she fires her magic that hits Magna instead of Asta and says he's quitting the Black Bulls, he hears the voice inside of his grimoire again, stating, that was overly dramatic. As he just sighs, stating, kind of, yeah. So, we continue to where Asta is doing his chores, and whilst doing them, he asks, okay, I do have to ask, what exactly is your real name? You haven't actually told me. Thinks for a moment and says, I suppose if you can hear me, or at least my thoughts, you should at least know my name. It's Libe. As he then asks, okay, so why are you inside the grimoire? It's a long story. Okay, how did you get in there? That's something I'm not comfortable talking about. You choose to go in there. Not exactly, but it was for my own safety. Wait, what? Doesn't make any. You can destroy magic. You are weird. As Libe telepathically states, and you think you're not? Jewels and bones, summoning a skull that fires energy blasts with crystals in them? How is that not weird? As he sighs, stating, fair enough, as they walk around, finding the well like in canon. For the time being, I'm saying they, since Libe is talking to Asta and is somewhat aware of what's going around. Seeing that she can't control her magic. Though when she notices Asta, like in canon, she loses control. Unlike as in canon, he's able to sprout turn the fluff of his coat, like you see on Sans in the thumbnail, into wings to fly away in order to avoid the rampaging magic. The Black Bulls come out seeing this. They notice Asta flying around. Sorry. As they hear that the Black Bulls are calling for Asta, Asta flies down and explains what's going on. As we see Yami looking at him, asking if he can do something about that. He looks and thinks, yeah, I could probably do something. With Libe stating, of course you can, just use the sword. And him telepathically thinking, yeah, I know that. He makes his wings again and flies up, breaking the spear and catching the well, gently landing down, putting her down. As he waits to be paraded, Asta compliments her on her magic and how much power she has. But the Black Bull's reassuring her and such, like in canon, as she smiles a bit, getting her Black Bull's robe back. Afterwards, we see a portal open somewheres within the strong magic region. Individuals come out, as they state, so this is the world where he is. All we have to do is kill him, and we get what we want, right? As a voice on the other side of the portal answers yes. However, I'm arranging something to send to him before you do anything. Make sure to keep watch over the action and decide what to do from there. As for anything else, I've already given you intel that not even the kingdom you'll be visiting knows about. As the portal disappears, a woman among this group states, well, hopefully our little benefactor keeps his end of the bargain once the job's done. Though I'm worried that it might not be as simple as just taking a mortal's life. As we see a, a very large, muscular man state, true, he did state that this world is filled with individuals with magic. So if he has allies, they will prove problematic. But we need intel first. Isn't that right? As a man states this, wearing green. And I'm with another large, muscular man with weapons on his back stating, intel gathering, not what I would like to do, but considering we don't know anything about this world or or anything in particular about what this target's capable of, suppose we don't have a choice. As we see, all 7 of these individuals walk away, with one of them carrying a crystal to look into the little test Dormammu stated that he was going to perform, that they would have to watch to see Asta's response and all that. As we get to the Black Bull's hideout, and it's morning. They eating, and Yami and Magna go off to play cards. Asta does ask what exactly are they waiting for? Shouldn't they be going out on missions? As they explain that a mission needs to arise first, or at least a problem needs to happen first for a mission to be made, or a request must be made as well. As they explain that if there's an issue in the kingdom, magic knights are ordered to go over there, which are their missions. But they can also be contracted for missions, things like escort work, protection detail, and etc. So he gets a bit of a rundown. As this continues, we get to the part where Yami and Magna come back after being humiliatingly defeated by the Chief of Saucy Village in cards. Them smirking and laughing, even though they are in their birthday suits, freaking Noel out, with Asta not knowing how to respond to this. Liebe, however, they do know they're naked, right? As they get dressed and are told about the mission they're going on. They accept it, obviously, and get ready to go. As Magna introduces his crazy cyclone. Noel is not happy about riding that thing, and Asta can hear her thoughts on this. After being around her and the other Black Bulls, he can hear what they think, or at least what the echoes of their soul is saying. So there's that. As he states that he could teleport them there if they need it, pulls out a map asking Magna where exactly they are and where Saucy Village is. He gives him the locations and states, okay, I can get us there, putting the map away. With Noel asking, wait, you said teleporting. Isn't that spatial magic? I thought you had like some kind of weird bone jewel magic. From what I saw you do in the exam. But then Magnus say, well, yeah, but then there's also that sword he pulls out. Asta just says, look, if we're going to give it a label, it's called Abyss Magic. It has different aspects to it. As he states that they just need to grab onto his shoulder. As they do so, and instantly teleport near the area of Saucy Village. Magna's impressed by this and asks if there's any limitations to it. Asta states that it's harder if he doesn't know exactly where he's going. Things like distance, elevation, and such. Which is why when they appeared, they were slightly above ground. Well, slightly over the ground, but not enough to cause any problems. So Magnus states, so you just need like a point of reference of where you are and where you want to go, right? Asa said, yeah, which is why I find it handy to keep this map around. As Magnus says, alright, then let's get started. As they start hunting the boars, Magna chills as Noel states, aren't you gonna help? This is your first mission and it's boar hunting. I'm just here to make sure it's done. Plus, to see how you do. Though I suppose without being able to control your magic at the moment, it's not that easy. But I'm sure you'll find some way to use your magic. As Noel sighs. Though Asta does get rid of the bulls. I mean the boars. Yeah, sorry, a little tongue-tied. So, yeah, they start heading over until Asta begins to feel fluctuations in the souls of the townspeople of Sashi Village, as well as three souls that are emitting a large amount of murderous hostility. Throws the boars down, grabbing the forearms of Noel and Magna, surprising them as he teleports in between the chief of Sashi Village and the Ice Maids, launching an attack, creating a dual barrier to destroy the ice. Magna states, "The hell's going on?" Asta says, "I felt a lot of murderous intent coming from the village, as well as panic. So I figured I'd come here." As he gets somewhat of a understanding of what's going on, he gets pissed, stating, "You tried to hurt these people? Why?" As they explain that their beasts need to be culled. This does piss him off quite a bit. As Asta goes toward an attack with his sword, we also see his other hand creating a crystal, firing it as it cuts the leader of the uh, mages that are attacking, while his sword slices through the ice copy, stating, "Nice try." He notices this mostly because, well, ice copies don't have souls, obviously. And with the Abyss powers, he's more in tune when sensing them. As they try to attack all the villagers using a combination of mist and ice magic to attack all around, Asta had to fire out some bones and crystals, mostly because he didn't have enough time to make a strong crystal barrier. This, with Magna's help, lessened the strain on him, making it easier, as Noelle is asked by the little girl if they're going to be okay, causing her to develop Sea Dragon's lair, giving Asta and Magna a chance to go after them. Asta tells Magna he can mess with one of them to toss them aside and to get ready for to use an attack to restrain them. Magna says, "Right," as he powers up. Asta, extending his hand, uses blue magic on one of the underlings, sending him flying into a wall. As it surprises the mages, he teleports from behind them. As he uses crystals to bind their feet. He doesn't use the gaster blasters, mostly because they would they seem pretty much overkill in this situation. As Magna throws the fire at them, they do block like in cannon, as Asta hits it with the flat of the blade, sending it back at them, hitting them and restraining them. Once they're restrained, Asta creates some crystal shackles on them. When he goes to try to shackle the one he tossed, the guy looked like he turned into water and bolted. So he unfortunately got away. And given that they got the leader and two underlings, he didn't see any reason at the moment to go after them, since if he's an underling, he might not know much to begin with. So he's trying to prioritize. So when they prop him up and everything, Magna states that he's going to bring them to the capital and make sure they get all the information from them. When he states, "Sorry, but that won't be happening," Asta hears his soul stating, "I will not give them anything, Master," as they turn into ice and shatter. eBay, noticing this, states, huh, magical item within his body. Not even my anti-magic might have been able to stop that from killing him from the inside out. Hmm. Agna's freaking as he's furious about that they didn't get anything from them. Asta did state that I did get something. They were sent here. Magna asked, how do you know that? He looks at Magna, stating, well, it's something I can do. Sometimes, if a person's feelings or thoughts are clear enough, I can hear them. Though, if I get along with somebody well enough, or get to understand them somewhat, I can hear their, like, it's like the echo of their soul or their hearts. That's part of what I can do. What I heard from that guy was that he wasn't going to give us anything, and doing this, stating that he has a master, as Magnus pissed, not knowing who this master person is, and what kind of person would inspire so much loyalty that they actually kill themselves just to keep his secrets. After checking on the chief of Saucy Village, he thanks them for what they did, as Asta has Nero flying toward him with the magic stone. Asta is able to hear a voice stating, we're taking this. Looking at Nero, grabbing the stone before she's able to peck him with it. Trying to yank on it, Asta states, come on, give this back, after he hears that it's the chief's good luck charm. With the chief laughing, he states, you can keep it. Think of it as additional payment for protecting us. After all, the original request I made was just to kill the boars. Which Magna state, yep, and that's taken care of too. After being thanked, they left, filling in Yami on what happened. While Asta walked away, since they finished up a bit earlier than in canon, he starts to wander until he hears two voices, recognizing them as Guy and Eve, warning him, Asta, listen, you have to be wary. Individuals from other worlds have entered yours, and they aren't pleasant ones. That, as he asks, what does that mean? They reply with, it means that they are after you. Essentially, they are able to kill you. You cannot become the ruler of the abyss, but also destroy the power orbs you've already taken in, meaning that it will be some time before we're able to create new ones in order to bring a up a new abyss lord or abyss ruler. As he sighs, remarking, wait, lord, ruler? They state it's something we somewhat gave you a title above. Since you aren't officially the abyss ruler right now, you are more considered a abyss lord. Once you once you become the abyss ruler officially, that will be that. But that depends on whether or not these individuals are going to kill, if they're going to be able to adapt. We'll look around some worlds and try to get some allies for you to help. So hang in there and make sure to stay alive. Remarks, yeah, do my best. Afterwards, he goes back in and they start to celebrate their first mission for Asta and Noelle being a success, as well as Noelle getting a spell she can actually use. Though as things went on, there was movement on the outside of the Blackpool's hideout. Asta sensed numerous souls surrounding them. He stood up, telling them that they got company, and some very unwelcome one at that. They look confused, but then Magna states, this guy sensed when the village was being attacked by sensing a lot of hostility. As bet, the guy who sent the ones to attack Shashi village is looking for payback. How many are there, Asta? He gets nervous, stating a lot. And weird thing is, this isn't normal. Isn't like hostility. It's like hostility that's fueled by hunger. As Charmy tries to look out, she states, I don't know if this is related to this, but there's a bunch of weird angel statues out there. Looking away, asking, what's all that about? When she looks back, she sees that the angels are closer now. As she jolts back, freaking out, yelling, they moved when I wasn't looking. As they hear some windows breaking, Asta hurried up and crafted some jewels to surround them and enlarge to create a barrier. He also sent some away into the Blackwall hideout because he sensed another soul in there. Thinking he should protect him too, he creates a barrier around his room, thinking that he'll probably have to meet that guy later. With the candles beginning to go out, they get worried. Till they hear a whooshing sound from in between all the black bulls who are in the barrier. Seeing a blue box opening, the black bulls are prepared to attack when a blonde woman steps out, saying, wait, I'm here to help, with Ghost stating, alright, then, yeah, no, not at all. Let's just eliminate her. She's probably the one who brought these things here. As he looks around, seeing Asta's cloak, she says, wait, you know Izuku Midoriya, right? Right? He told me to say hi to you and wishes you the best luck. Asta's eyes widen as he tells them to calm down, getting in their way, helping her up. Yami notices that name sounds like one from his homeland, and he'll ask about this later. After hearing the angels starting to beat on the crystal barrier, he looks around stating, oh, wow, there's a lot of them. This is bad. Yami asks, what are these things? She tells him, they're weeping angels. These things, they can manipulate time in a special way. They also feed off of people's time. They touch you, you'll be sent somewhere in time where, well, it's become common to where their so-called prey they captured end up seeing an elderly version of themselves die of old age right in front of them. And then they just feed off of their lifespan, their time, using them as a food source. So do not let them touch you. Asa states, okay, so these things are evil, right? He states, oh, extremely so. But since they can only, killing them is easier said than done. Their stone bodies are ridiculously hard to harm. Ghost just scoffs at this, saying, oh, really? They're just rocks. Blasting mirror magic at them, making mirrors come on the outside of the barrier, hitting them, but with no effect. He states, yeah, that ain't going to work. But if you can make those mirrors, that would be helpful. Any of you can make light or something? Magnus states, yeah, why? He states, make plenty of light to illuminate this entire room while he makes plenty of mirrors all around this barrier. And to trust them, and for them to trust her. They do so begrudgingly, and once they do, the banging stops. He sighs in relief, with Magna asking, "Okay, so who are you?" He states that, "Oh, well, I'm the doctor. My actual name is something that isn't normally able to be understood. So I'm normally just called the doctor." Though getting out of this predicament right now is going to be troublesome. Ghost stating, "Yeah, my mirror magic didn't even scratch them. But why is it stopping them now?" He tells them that, well, part of what makes them so deadly is that when they're stared at, they're stone, making them practically impossible to kill, and only move whenever they are able not be seen. This is why they can't even look at each other, because then they'll just be stuck like that. It also works if they see their own reflection in the mirror. So basically, they're seeing themselves, which is causing them to stay stoned. Asta thinks, stating, "So these guys are like evil, like crazy evil?" The woman says, "Yeah, basically." As he creates an opening in the top, stating, "I got something that might work," creating an abyss chain, even going as far to create three. Sending him through the openings, he asks, "What are you doing?" He states these chains have the ability to destroy evil things. So, they are evil. This should take care of them, stone or not, sending them flying as they destroy the weeping angels, one after another, spreading them out to break them constantly, making sure that they all are destroyed, sending their souls. Afterwards, he lets down the barrier and sighs in relief. With them being pressed, Yami asks, "Okay, so why are you here?" He states, "Oh, I was actually here tracking them down. They always, they are quite dangerous and I couldn't just let them be. I, I also found a large signature active whenever there was a large cluster of them. So, yeah, I followed the energy signature and found you guys here." As she states that she is the doctor again, meeting and shaking their hands more officially, learning their names. She then goes into the box. When they take a look into, is a lot larger on the inside than the outside, thinking, "Whoa, this is looks like some highly insane space magic." Comes back with something as he looks at Asta, stating, "I gave you this. Well, I'm giving you this," holding out a very insanely long scarf. "I gave your friend Izuku a bit of a good luck charm to help. This, at one point, was mine. I'm sure you'll find it in handy if the right situation comes." He takes it and says thanks. As they go to shake hands, a similar reaction happens between the two as it happened when she came into contact with Asta. Instead of seeing the visions of heroes and such, she saw multiple worlds of magic and dangers there, entities of extreme magical power that could destroy worlds. As Yami and the other back bulls see something going on, they reach out, grabbing them, worried, as they are then dragged in, seeing all this, while also seeing her past lives, or at least the previous doctors. all 14 doctors, including herself. Afterwards, they were confused by this, as he states that the same thing happened with the zoo, as he states that she has to go now. They thank her, and she does leave, which then Yami asks, okay, you mind explaining what we just saw and who and what was with her? Not to mention that that friend of yours that she mentioned. The name sounds like something from my homeland. So explain. He begins to explain that he was asked to become something by some entities that were more or less asking him to be a guardian of the multiverse, explaining what that is and what they all saw. Various entities of great power for both good and evil throughout the multiverse. Being shocked by this, asking, okay, but if you're supposed to be that, why are you here? Yami asked, with him stating, part of this deal is that I have to live out my own life here. So I just live my life here and that's it. So I have been told that there may be complications in this aspect in particular. Which Magna says, oh, what now? He looks around, stating, well, these angels were most likely sent here to kill me by one of those very powerful entities that I would get in the way of. At least when I became the Guardian, though the official title is called Ruler of the Abyss. As for Zuko, me and him were both trained by a guy named Sans. He's a ruler of the Abyss too. It's just that there's more than one of them, and each one needs a ruler. We were both chosen to be one because we were powerless in a world filled with power. So he saw something in us that could be, well, the best characteristic for us to be a guardian. As he scratches his head with them being dumbfounded by this, Tommy then states, okay, so are we supposed to expect something else? He states, yeah, they might have mentioned to me a bit earlier today that someone had sent some people over to harm me. And I don't think this is them. I think this might have been just some kind of probing for information. I probably saw the entire thing. As he sighs, marking, ugh, this is so annoying. Benyami, not even sure how to report this. He just puts his hand against the wall, placing his other hand on his face, not knowing how to report this crap, not knowing what he should leave in, what he should leave out, and what he should do about this. He asked, are they all gonna be so freaking dangerous like this? He says, probably, but Guy and Eve said that they were gonna send me some backup, but they'd have to find them first. He sighs, remarking, fine, let's just clean up this mess and go to bed. They do clean up the stone, disposing of it, sending it to the middle of nowheres using minerals spatial magic. So yeah, after going to bed, we switch over to the ones that we were taught seeing before, the 7 that Dormammu sent, who, if you don't know, then go watch the last part of What If Deku had Abyss Sans' power, because this is somewhat connected in some ways, though might be the last part that I'll mention my hero about in this and all that. So yeah, that's right. As we continue to see them discussing their options, they think about what to do and figure that it might be best to side with those Eye of the Midnight Sun people, even if we're only using them to help weed out his allies, or at least spread them out. It's probably our best chance. I don't even want to know what happens if we get hit by one of those chains, the woman said. The man next to her, wielding an axe, states, yes, I do agree. I would not want to get hit by that if they were able to destroy those things. And they are in agreement, heading off to go to the Eye of the Midnight Sun. So, yeah. Now, before we continue, I did forget something earlier in the video, so here's a little commercial. And it, okay, so now we're back. We get to the part where Vanessa takes Asta and Noel to the black market. Once they get there, things relatively happen the same up until the cloud thief takes the money from the old lady. This time, Asta just teleports in his way and clotheslines him right to the ground. Using abyss chains this time to restrain him, thinking that he didn't need the blade part for this, and he needs to get more proficient with these chains anyways, if people are going to be coming after him. Afterwards, Seke takes them and just rolls off, Asta not really caring if he gets the credit or not, with Noelle having a new wand. As we see the old lady get her money back, and then later on, as they leave, we see the old lady become the Wizard King Julius. Interesting. Teleportation, some kind of crystal ability. Tommy did state this one was abnormal in his report. Also, that he couldn't properly explain what he learned about him as well as make it believable. I wonder what he meant by that. Though he's immediately called by Marks, who chews him out for slacking on his work. Later, we get to the part where they are asked to go take care of the dungeon. After giving a brief explanation of what a dungeon is and where it is. And the problem in this, they Asta teleports him, Noel, and Luck over. As they walk in and Luck finds the entrance, same as in canon, they see the the whole thing with the distorted space and all that due to the insane amount of mana in it. Asta suddenly realized that he couldn't quite hear the echoes of Luck and Noel's souls anymore. Figures that the highly intense mana in this place might be interfering with it. We're talking about two different dimensional magics. I would imagine that it might cause interference with one another every now and then. So yeah. Besides, as Luck then starts activating traps, causing Asta to strike at them, one after another, destroying them, with Luck then noticing that they have company. heading off to deal with the Diamond Mage. He's Noel complains about that was just rude, as Asta uses his power to sense the souls of the Diamond Mage, as well as one he recognizes, and two with it that he didn't. He states that looks like we have company, and some is friendly, but most of it seems to not be. As then we see, you know, uh, Mimosa and Klaus come in, as Noel walks around, accidentally activating the plant trap, and Asta destroying. Mimosa states, "You do have to be more careful, you know that." He states, "Of course I do." With Asta and having the little reunion, and Klaus commenting about Asta being a commoner and all that, with Asta's not even given into this. He's gained some traits gained some traits from Sans about not dealing with people who boast like this, as he just scoffs after Asta tells him, you should really calm down, Four Eyes. We're here to do a job, so maybe now's not the time to boast, especially since the Diamond Mage Kingdoms are here too. He states, "How do you know that?" Asta replies with, "I can somewhat sense them." And Luck went over to take care of a group of them. But there seems to be one on his own. Not sure if he's some kind of scout or if he's the leader. Either way, be careful. With Klaus coughing, stating, "I don't need you to tell me that," as he walks off. They go off in the different directions, with Noel and Asta going over to Luck, as Asta thinks he might get in trouble if he's left alone. So yeah, they do find Luck restrained in the smoke, where the stuff that happened to the Golden Dawn happens as in canon in this part. Asta breaks him free, as and the smoke mates forms the smoke all around them. He does taunt them, stating that he really doesn't like the fight, but he has a job to do. Asta breathes for a moment and tells Luck the same as in canon, and asks him if Luck can trust him with finding the guy. He locates his soul, powering up his yellow magic lightning, firing it at him. This doesn't cause as much damage as he would think. He does have some guilt about what he's been made to do by his kingdom, which seems like a bunch of jerks, but he isn't himself guilty that much. But he is stunned a little bit by his lightning, which then Luck comes in kicking him. He is then met the choice that he makes to bail with his men using his smoke magic. Afterwards, Luck asks him, "Wait, I thought you could only use those crystals and bones. Where's that lightning come from?" Asta states, "It's part of the abyss thing I was talking about." Revealing his soul, "This is my soul. Souls with different colors have different meaning." As he points at Noelle, revealing her purple soul. "Your soul seems to be a perseverance." As he then points to his, mine is justice. That lightning was produced from the yellow soul, and well, it seems as though he does have guilt and such, but whatever. But it doesn't seem to be quite right to cause much damage. But it did stun him. As Luck finds that pretty cool, he Asta senses what's going on with the Golden Dawn, stating that they have to hurry. He grabs them and teleports them in front of the giant sword about to swing down onto Yuno as Asta pulls out the sword, cutting it in half. With Noel protecting Mimosa and Klaus, and Luck dealing with the clones, Asta deals with Mars directly, slamming him with his sword, sending him flying, only then to come back up using mineral armor. The fight begins where he shoots out crystals, bones, and some light. This shocks, uh, this does shock Klaus as he's confused by this, thinking that this is too much power for a commoner. As Asta hits him into the water, he's quickly met by a large, large mineral attack. He does cut it in half and realizes that the crystals around him from cutting it in half are attacking him. Though when he's thought to be crushed by it, he just shows up right next to Klaus, who's surprised by this, as he then teleports again, getting behind Mars, slamming him with his sword again, as he's then knocked out and restrained. They go into the treasure room using Asta's sword to cut through the gate. Still gets his wind spirit bell, as Asta walks around, hearing Libe again. Hey, go to that wall over there and break it down. There's something you'll need. He states, huh? What? Something useful? Libe states, yeah, and it's something that belongs in the grimoire. He breaks down the wall that he was alerted to, finding the sword. He states, second anti-magic sword? How did you? Libe states, it's part of the grimoire to begin with. All I did was sense it nearby. No clue how it got here. As he walks out, Mars is awake, gets his grimoire back, and seals up uh, Klaus, and Luck as Noelle is hit with Mimosa healing her. Asta gets in the way, hitting the crystals that came at them in the second wave, destroying them, and using his own to create a barrier, protecting each of his comrades, stating, you just don't know when to give up, as he can now hear Marge's soul. The sheer chaos coming from it is enough to push past the interference from the strong mana in the dungeon. He thinks, this guy's head isn't right, is it? His mind is clouded. Alright, let's start. As he begins to attack, using crystal barriers to help with defense, as well as destroying some with his swords and sending some back. As he thinks about how it's unusual how he's using flame magic to heal himself. I was thinking, another one using multiple magic types? What the hell? As Noel mentioned that he can do this, magic pours into his sword when it starts to glow. Liebe states, swing the sword. He does so, sending a water slash that extinguishes his healing flame magic, giving him a chance to blitz in, hitting him with the sword again. As he walks away, checking on everybody, and breaking them out of the crystals they're trapped in, we see Mars try one last attack, with Asta getting ready to destroy it, but Yuno's spirit activates, revealing Bell destroying the sword. Afterwards, Mars is now unconscious, and the whole place is starting to calm down. Asta tells them to hurry up and get to him, with Klaus confused by this, but stating, hurry up and grab onto Asta. So, if you want to get out of here. They do so, and he teleports them back to the surface. The rumbling continues, but they do see a smoke car exit the place before it completely collapses. Klaus thinks that they should go after them, but also mentioned that it's probably best that they don't. After all, some of our people here are a bit injured and have used up a lot of mana. So let's just call it a draw for now. Pretty sure all they got was some treasure. He got something a lot better, revealing his second anti-magic sword as Juno looks at his new spell in his grimoire. Klaus concedes to this as he thanks Juno and Asta, apologizing for looking down on them for being commoners, as they say it's fine and that they're crushing them, as Noel states, well, it was reckless of you to do that, especially since whatever you did, as he points to Juno, seems to cause the whole place to start to collapse on us. As Noelle then realizes her clothes are messed up and reacts, slapping Asta, with him asking, why? With her just looking away. So yeah. As they decide to leave, Klaus does ask, hey, what exactly is your magic? He states, it's abyss magic. Yeah, like magic relating to my soul, as he creates his yellow heart. Telling him that different souls have different colors. He makes Klaus's soul appear, revealing a blue one of integrity. Telling him that's what it means, he's kind of glad that that's what his color of his soul is, and thanks Asta for helping them out, and hopes to see them again as they leave. Now, with that taken care of, we now go over to the Eye of the Midnight Sun base, who are being visited by some rather odd people, as they introduce themselves one at a time, and also state that they're just here to help them out because helping them will help. Helping the Eye of the Midnight Sun will help them as well, stating that they just want to kill one person. If doing that helps their goal in the end, they're happy to give them a hand. Skeptical about this, but recognizing the immense amount of power these guys are packing, they accept, asking them whether their thoughts on humans. They do scoff, stating that humans tend to be mostly garbage. Even the ones that are human state this, as they do state that some of them aren't really human, as they agree to work with them for the time being, and the deal is struck. As for Guy and Eve, they have just settled and collected the ones they are going to send for Asta's reinforcements. With all this going on, Asta goes to bed, relaxing after the whole mission with the dungeon, waiting for his next orders. And this is where we'll be ending it on this part. Do hope you enjoy. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Sorry if I was a little off. I have a bit of a runny nose right now, so sorry. So, do hope you enjoyed and hope to see you next time. See you later, everybody, and Happy New Year's.